Okay, so we've learned how to write a quadratic function in standard form, factored form, and now vertex form. So remember, it all depends on what you're given to which of those three forms of equations that you're going to use. So when you've been given the vertex and another point, then obviously you're going to use vertex form. So our h is -3 and our k is 4. So let's plug in what we have. So it's going to be x minus -3 plus 4. Now let's use another point, the only other point we're given, to plug in for x and f of x. And now let's simplify the right side. We have 2 squared, and that is 4, and then plus 4. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, and then we have 4a, and then solve. And our a value is -2. So when we put that all together, we have -2 for the a value, and then we have x minus -3 plus 4. Now, if you were asked to write it in standard form, then we're going to expand the exponent. I have to use some grouping symbols, so let's expand x plus 3 times x plus 3. And then we're going to remind ourselves that we add the 4 in at the very end. So I'm going to multiply and create a perfect square trinomial. Now I'm going to distribute my -2. So I'm going to come up here. So when I distribute this -2 just to this trinomial, I can drop all my grouping symbols and bring in the 4. But first, remember, you're just going to multiply -2 times x squared, 6x, and 9. So that gives me -2x squared minus 12x minus 18. And now I'm going to bring in the plus 4. Let's use a different color so it stands out. So standard form, -2x squared minus 12x minus 14, because I combined those two. So this is standard form, and this is vertex form. Again, you notice they still both have the same a value. Okay, number 8. Here's the vertex. Here's the other point we're going to use to find the a value. So my h is -5 and my k is -7. I have x minus -5 minus 7. And we're going to plug in x for with -2 and f of x with -4. And we're doing all this to find the value of a. So let's simplify the right side. So we have -2 plus 5, that's 3 squared. That gives me 9 minus 7. We're going to add 7 to both sides. That gives me 3 equals 9 times a. Divide each side by 9, and my a value is 1/3. And let's put that all together. X minus -5 minus 7. And again, you know how to expand your exponent, multiply, and then subtract the 7 if asked to put it in standard form. Number 9, the vertex, 6, 8, x minus 6 plus 8. We're going to plug in 4 in my x spot and f of x with 6. Okay, this time remember, when we have 4 minus 6, and that's -2, the negative is also squared. So that's going to give me 4. We're going to subtract 8. Divide each side by the 4. And my a value is negative 1/2. And when we put it all together, we have negative 1/2 x minus 6 quantity squared plus 8. Okay, our last little video is going to be 2 problems with whenever I give you a graph or you're given a graph, how to write it in a quadratic equation.